Hello guys and welcome back to TechWolf, and today I'm going to show you how to create a database in cPanel, as this was one of the requests from you guys, how to create a database in cPanel. So I'm going to show you. So once you are in your cPanel's homepage, here you need to find the databases section. As you see, currently the first one is emails, and we have files, and here I also have databases. This can be located in your scenario somewhere up or down. You just find this databases section. As you can see, here we have phpMyAdmin, MySQL Databases, MySQL Database Wizard, and Remote MySQL. First, if you would like to see what databases you already have, you could click into phpMyAdmin. Let's open it, and in phpMyAdmin, here you can see all your databases. If you click here at the top on Databases tab, if we click in there you will see all your databases here, or here in the left hand side, click on that plus icon, and here you can also open all your databases. As you see in my scenario here, I already have 4 databases. But if you would like to create a database in some hosting from your cPanel, you click into MySQL Databases. And from here you could easily also see all your databases. As you can see under this tab Databases, then we have users, and these are users which you can add to database which you are creating. And here I can see also my users, and each of these users is added to some of these databases. So what we will do today, we will create a database and we will create a user, and then we will add that user to that database. Because, for example, if you are creating a WordPress website, you will need to assign a user to some database which you are creating. And as you can see in my scenario, prefix of this database is VQ, PM, whatever it is, and then underscore, and then I can give some name. I will call this just test, but you can give there any name you want. So your full database name will be this prefix, underscore, and then test. So we can click on create database. As you can see, database has been created. We go back, and now under the tab of databases we can find this database. As you can see, this is the last created database. So your database name will be whatever database you just created. In my scenario, that is VQPMGYOC underscore test. So that is my database name. You can save this database name for further reference whenever you will need it for your website in some text file. I will do it on my Notepad++, and I will just drop this database name. I will say database and then column, and I will paste this database name. So this is my database which I have just created. And next what we need to create is a user. As you can see, MySQL users, add new user, and here also there is a prefix, underscore, and then you specify a username. I will call this user testdb. So my full username will be whatever prefix, underscore, testdb, and then you give a password for your user. As you can see, there is password generator. I will just click that. I will copy this password, and I will say cancel, and I will paste this password also here, and then click on create user. We open our Notepad or anywhere where you would like to save, and here we'll type in user. This will be our database user, and password. This will be password for our user which is in this database, and this is just a password which I just created. And then go back. Now we scroll to the users, and as you see, there is our user which we created, prefix with underscore, and that I will also save on my Notepad. So this one. So now we have created the database, we have created a user, and we have a password for this user. And now we need to assign this user to this database and give permissions to this user for this database. This means that this user will have permissions. We will give full permissions to this user, as this will be our root or main user, which will be pretty much working from our website to which website we have intended to add this database. This will be the main user, and this will be data which will be needed for your website whenever you will be adding this database to your website. So these are those details. So like I mentioned, now we need to add user to database. So we created a user which was VQPMGYOC and underscore test DB, and we need to add this user to this database, and database we called test, as you see, VQPMGYOC underscore test, and we click here add, and now it will prompt us to add privileges or permissions, what this user can do. And usually when you are creating for your website, you give this main user all privileges, so he is able to write to the database, delete from database, because your main user pretty much will be your website. And this has nothing to do with other users who will be using your website. This is main user, pretty much your website, which will be writing or interacting with this database. That's why you always give them all privileges. And click on make changes and then go back, and your database has been created and user has been added. And like I mentioned at the start of this video, all these details, if you are creating, for example, WordPress website or any other website, then your database will be whatever database you created. User for this database will be now whatever user you created, and this will be user's password which you add for your website. So you will need pretty much all these three details. So yes guys, hope that you found this video useful. If you did, leave a like, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and see you in the next one.